showtime, kid.
Hello hobbyist collectors and Predaheads alike. I want to welcome you to my channel, Predator Collectibles. I am your host, Glennon Taylor, and we take a look at anything that you can collect, me, you, as Predator fans, whether it be action figures, comic book statues, prop replicas, into our collection. And also make sure you stick around to the end of this video because that's something I have to show you that's really cool, something that I designed personally that you can't find anywhere else. And believe me, I know I checked, rechecked, and triple checked, but I'm really excited to show you what I have at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around. But on today's video, because this month is the 33rd anniversary of Predator, I figured, we start off this month with something nostalgic from the early 90s, and that's going to be from the company that we know as Galoob, but everybody else knows them as Micromachines, and that's going to be the 1997, I believe, or 1992 Action Fleet Predator set from Micromachines. So I'm going to show you everything that this particular set has involved. It comes with 3 figures, technically 2 figures and a vehicle, and the Predator Bio Helmet playset as well. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if Micromachines has produced any other Micromachines playsets. I don't know if they're still in business. I'll have to double check my research on it. But I know this particular item is fetching for quite a bit of money on the third market, and I'm glad to still have this in my collection. I saw it at Toys R Us when I was a kid, had to have it, had to get it. I still have my original that's still in mint in box. This is a duplicate, so I figured I'd open it for you and show you maybe that you do not aware of what this all entails. So I'm going to show you in that video today about what you get with this playset. Now, showing off the box, the reason I'm showing off it really quickly is that I've already took out the figures that were in that window display, but I absolutely love the box. So it does have the Predator Transforming Action Set by Galoob, their brand being Micromachines. So it's kind of a spoiler alert, but if I turn it around, it does give you, of course, everything you get in the box, and it does have everything opened up. So you get Dutch, Predator, and the Gorilla Truck. It tells you exactly what it does and what you can do with it, and I just really like that. And as a kid, I definitely wanted this because in theory I could reenact certain scenes from the movie on this playset. And FYI, it does also, as a, I guess, sales pitch, if you're an Alien fan, it does also have the 1979 Alien Action Fleet set as well. Okay, so taking a closer look at Arnold, again, it's not his likeness, but this is in fact depicted based on his armor and clothes, is Dutch, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And again, you can tell how small he is based on his index, or my index finger and my thumb. So he is kind of small, but he does have 2 joints. There's one in both arms and his pelvis. So if I were to raise one arm, it raises the other arm, as you can already tell. Now the paint, as you can already tell, it's vintage, it's old, it's used, and his paint does kind of run already into his hammerhead rifle, which is understandable. But as you can tell, some of his paint is stripping off. This is from the 90s. I've had it for quite some time. This is actually a duplicate. And he does have, as I mentioned before, his pelvis does move as such, so you can bend over backwards. I'm trying not to very hard force it because the plastic is bendable, so I just want to make sure that I'm not ruining this piece because, again, it's very old, but I'm very glad to have it in my collection. I've had it for quite some time, and as you can tell, it's really cool on how he's able to move both arms at the same time because it has a single joint running through his shoulders into his upper torso. So yeah, I think this is really cool to have Arnold. Overall, I think the paint could be better, but again, I'm not stressing over it, mainly due to the fact that this is a 1990s vintage toy, and usually you'll have imperfections like this, but I think that's where you can show how the age difference between toys now versus what they were back then can definitely show the improvement of an action figure like this. Now, looking at the Predator, I really do love the Predator. Now, I showed this is probably more likely going to be the battle damage version because, again, Micromachines, or in this case Galoob, did reflect and do different versions of the Predator, and he also has a pelvic joint that does go up and down. His armor is painted just a slightly bit better than Arnold's, but it does have some of the paint chipping off on the back where you can see it from the cannon, and you already see the same line where they put everything together running between his helmet. And the helmet does have, you can see, there we go, a little bit of red for his eyes, just so you can tell that those are his eyes as opposed to black, because I guess because of the black wash it shows between the silver and gray. And again, if you do move one of his arms, the other arm will move all by itself, because again it's on a single joint. And he does have the pelvis that you can move backward and forward. Again, it's a little bit stiff because of his age, but it does actually move. And the loincloth on the back, you have the backpack, the cannon, and a little bit of blood spatter for his legs and his torso. And I really do like the Predator. And in relation to height-wise, I'll show you again based upon that the Predator is in fact taller than Arnold. So they do try to make it as accurate as possible based on height, but yeah, Predator is definitely bigger than Arnold. So with the Gorilla truck I really do like, mainly due to the fact that it does have those Hot Wheels type of wheels at the very bottom. So you have one single rod of metal attaching for the wheels. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wheels, and then the gun at the very end. The gun does not move. It is a fixed position, but I really do like the Gorilla truck. Some of the paint for the windows do kind of wash already again into the roof or the canopy, but this size is just a little bit better than the windshield, and also of course the rear windshield is a little bit better. So I think it's just, this is the front windshield, that's just the only problem. I wish they kind of would have painted the lights, but again, this is a 1990s vintage toy, not really picky. Of course, when I was a kid and I started playing with this, I didn't really care. It was just as depicted, camouflaged as best as they could, and I would play with it regardless of how good it looked. So taking a closer look, or up close look, at the biohelmet playset itself, so I really do love the side scratching of the cheekbone or the cheek part of the mask. You also do have the dent right there on the brow. It does also have the dented part right here on top of the dome, and I really wish that they would have painted the tri-laser red, but back then, again, like I said, I was a kid, it didn't really matter, I wasn't picky, but I really do love this biohelmet overall. What I really also love is that they were able to put in that wire mesh design right there in the eyes, because that is also very accurate to the movie as well. So when you open up the playset area and the dome area, this is where you want to put your finger in and actually just take your fingernail, or if you have any fingernails, just pry it open like such, because there is a clasp right there in the end. And when you open it, it reveals the Gorilla Camp inside the biohelmet. Now what's really neat is, if the camera will pick it up, there's actually a holographic Predator right there at the very corner, so whenever you move him, he'll actually either go cloaked or uncloaked, revealing what he really looks like, just like he does in the movie in the trees. And I thought that was a really cool, nifty idea, and I wanted this actually so bad that I was thinking about taking it out of the biohelmet, but that would ruin the toy. I was like, nah, I'll just leave it in there. But that was a really cool holographic effect for Galoob to put that in for the Predator playset. Now of course the tree does come out from its position. Like I do is just pull it away as such, and of course whenever you want to, you can place the Predator right there, as far as him looking over the entire scene as he does in the movie, seeing all the carnage that Dutch and his team is placing on the gorillas. Another cool feature that this playset has is that, just like in the movie where the gorilla is actually on top of the roof and falls to his death, I'll pretend that again Arnold is part, or that gorilla, and there's a lever on the back that I'm showing you now. So if you were, of course, just to pull down on the lever, the tree collapses and allows him to fall to his death. Another scene you can reenact is where Blaine is using Old Painless, which is his minigun, and fires down on a couple of gorillas by the barrels. And this is pretty much that scene, only this time where you'll actually blow up the scene, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So the barrels themselves are in fact the buttons. When you press down on them, you can blow up the gorilla, or in this case, Dutch. Now, just before the gorilla fight begins, Arnold Schwarzenegger does, of course, cut off and detach a tire generator to what I believe is used for the electrical power. So you can right here depict that there's already a generator attached to the gorilla truck, and just like it is in the movie, you can reenact, ram the truck into the hut just before the fight begins by pressing on this button right there. So there you have the action figure playset from Micromachines, aka again Galoob, for the Predator movie in 1987. Now, if you stuck around to the end of this video, I want to thank you again for your patience. I hope you enjoyed the action figure set. But what I'm now showing you is a design that I did for the 33rd anniversary of Predator, and here it is. So yeah, I did design a t-shirt reflecting the year 1987 using all elements of Predator, whether it be the knife, the thermal vision 9, the skulls depicting the number 8, and the tri-laser depicting the number 7. And I'm really excited to have designed that shirt. I think it looks really cool. I actually ordered it myself. And if you would like to order a shirt or anything else from my store, I'll leave a link in the description. And if you also liked this particular action fleet set from Micromachines, if you had it or you plan on buying it, leave your answer down in the comments so I'd love to know if I can help you to try to get this particular set. Again, it is somewhat expensive, over $100 on eBay or the third market, but I'll see what I can do or giving you a link for a cheaper version somewhere else. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions or any other feedback, again, leave them down in the comments. And if you're a Predator fan like me, hit that subscribe button as well as bell notification. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoy videos that are nostalgic and vintage like this, because it does help out the channel and also does help you out to find out more Predator content that either has been discontinued or is coming out in future releases. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you next week for another review for the 33rd anniversary of Predator. And until then, happy hunting.